Good afternoon, aka morning afternoon. This is Lady L with business strategies and tips. We are going to have an awesome session today. Just want to make sure I'm checking all of my settings here, that we're all good. Awesome. Hope everybody is having a terrific Thursday. Preparing for the weekend, doing all those checks and balances so that you can make sure that you can spend quality time with friends and family. Mother's Day weekend! Happy Mother's Day in advance to all the mothers, the grandmothers, the aunties, the great grandmothers, the mentors, the pastors' wives, and everybody who has been influential in your life. All of our female examples that are out in our community, in our nation, in our world. Take the time to really search out some women that you admire, especially women that are doing what you're doing. If you're an entrepreneur, business owner, search out some other successful business owners and entrepreneurs, especially if they're in your industry. Read their stories, get their books, study them, get information that will help encourage you on your business journey, on your ministry journey, on your organization journey. It takes a village to do all that we do, whether it's raising a family, business, just our personal lives, self-care. We need a village to help us to grow and to develop. God did not create us to be islands unto ourselves. He created us to come together in communities, in families, in whatever genre you find yourself in, to be able to be that whole, complete, fulfilled, destiny driven, destiny purposed individual. With that being said, let's get into our question today. We are still talking about the financial end of businesses, and yesterday we did talk about briefly setting up your business financials, such as your banking, your credit. We're just going to elaborate a little bit more on that today, with the subject of what records do I need to go after funding for my business. Now, different fundings require different documentation. When you're going for philanthropic grants or grants, foundational grants, when you're going in that grant industry, they have their whole genre of information that they need. When you're going after business credit, they have the information they need. When you're going after a different type of fundraising opportunities, each entity does have different aspects, but there are just some standard across the board things that you will need for practically every one of those arenas. And we did talk about it in some previous recordings. You can visit my YouTube channel, Lady Verne, LadyVerne, all one word. And I have them listed in the question so that you can pick specifically what area you need to go back and re-listen again. And we're going to be refreshing some of those things because, as I forestated, technology is changing every second. Not every day, not every week, not every month, literally almost every second. So there's always going to be some extra things to share on the similar topics that we've already covered. So today we're going to talk about what are some of those standard financial documents that you need to have in a standard file, that all you have to do is pull it out, make a copy of it, apply it to whatever funding resource that you're going for, and keeping them as staples, as we call them. That may be an old school term, but what staples are is things that you must have at all times. I mean, who doesn't have some type of rice or potatoes or beans or flour, sugar, the things that you just always use, whether it's for cooking, baking. There's certain staples that you have in your home. There's certain staples that you must have for your business. Your financial documents. Your four main financial statements are your balance sheets, your income statements, your cash flow statements, statements of shareholders' equity. Your balance sheet shows what a company owes and what it owes at a fixed point in time. You also have your income statements. They also show a specific month in time. So they're like forecasts, or they're like um, just a quick overview of what you are globally in your particular business. So it's having business account information, all of your bank statements, your business credit reports. Those are the staple kind of information that you need to have. If you're using spreadsheets, those spreadsheets, as we forestated, are supplements that prepares these particular financial documents, because most of them are going to look into, well, what is your cash flow statement, meaning how does your cash flow in and out, so that they can see how you manage business on a day-to-day. So you want to make sure that there's some equity. What if you need equity as some type of lien or a collateral type of situation. So these are different core aspects of your financial documents that are staples that you should always have. If you're not clear on that, that's what your accountant is for. That's what you pay that accountant for when they're doing your quarterly tax statements. That's also added on there. Some of them may want to see some of your tax documents, or at least have an overview or idea. So you also want to have your tax statements in that as well, federal and state, so that it just gives a funder, especially if you're going after large sums of money as a large corporation. They want to see your annual report. That's also another critical financial document. It has in it, but your annual report gives an overview of everything you've done with your business. So you may want to make sure that you have your annual reports in a filing system as well. So even though there's four main financials, there's other core information that you need to have to make sure that you have a sound business platform on a financial basis, that you're able to expend that information when it's requested and required for further funding sources. Now, the legal documents that every business should have is the letter that you received from the Internal Revenue Service saying this is your employer identification number, or your EIN number. Okay? Or sometimes it's commonly known as a TIN number, which is just your tax number. Your state registration. Now, again, we talked about different ways of registering your business in certain states, because some of you may have businesses in multiple states, but you still have to have some type of state registration document in your files. Your DUNS registration. You've gone to DUNS and you've gotten your DUNS number. There should be a formal letter that you received stating this is your DUNS number. That also assists in getting business credit and business financial resources. And a credit evaluation, which is your business credit. So you want to make sure that you just have those types of documents. If you are, depending on what state and county you're operating your business in, if there are county licenses and registrations and certifications, you need that information in your file, that you're registered, and find out from your counties and your cities if they are specific industry certifications and registrations. You want to already have that in place, because if grants and funding opportunities come up, you don't want to have to double back and try to apply for these certifications and registrations, which may supersede the deadline for those funding resources that you're going after. So these, again, we're still laying foundation here. These are things that you need to have in place. You need to have your business insurance in place. your liabilities insurance, your workman comp insurance. So you need to have that document in place. If you are an LLC and there's different levels of LLCs, you need to make sure that you are following the abilities to have that setup established, such as your S corp ruling, even if you're an LLC, if it's applicable to what you're doing in your industry. Now, there's certain staple information that you do need to have as well, and we've have previously spoken of this as well. You need a business address, not your home address, unless your home has a separate total room with its own separate entrance, and it's visible if someone was to Google it, and they can see, oh, okay, yeah, this looks like a home, but depending on your industry as well, there needs to be a separate building or separate entrance, separate room, so that that whole room can have its tax benefits. You need a business telephone number. You need to be business 411 listed. You need a business website with a .com, not an at Gmail, or an AOL, or no, it's got to be your entity's name that you have gotten the domain of, and that it's either a .com or .org or .net. Also a business email on that same vein, not a Gmail, not an AOL, not a Hotmail, or any other mail. It needs to be your domain name, your business entity, and that .com, .net, .org, whatever. This way, people recognize you from a funding perspective that you are a legitimate business. If you do not have some of these things in place, then you can always go to Success Beyond Strategz, that's STRATEGZ.com, and we will make sure that that is taken care of for you. Yes, Miss Corinne, I will make that available to you. In the meantime, you can go to my YouTube channel, Lady Vern, LADYVERNE. We can definitely accommodate you on that. Tax exempt organizations. Now, these are your staple documents, in addition to the EIN document from the Internal Revenue Service, your state registration, your DUNS number, your county licenses, registrations, certifications, insurances, your business address, your business telephone number, your business 411 listing, your business website, your business email. You need your articles of incorporation and your bylaws, your tax exempt letter from the Internal Revenue Service, and your state sales tax exempt documentation. Because once you apply for your tax exempt, aka 501c3, you also can apply, depending on the state, sales tax exemption and other tax exemptions per your state. So these are benefits that you need to do with research to make sure that you're taking full advantage of all of the exemptions that you can qualify for on a state level. So with that being said, we have a session tomorrow and a session Saturday. We're going to still be wrapping up just a little bit more. Going to go into a little bit of just some overview of business credit on a little bit more of a detail, so that you can be prepared for setting up, whether you're just beginning, whether you just got started but you've been going at it a little while, you've been at it for a good minute but needs to be tweaking, needs those checks and balances done. And if you've just been around and you're big and you're huge, everybody needs some point of tweaking, check and recheck at any given point in time. So thank you so much for joining me today for Business Strategies and Tips with Lady L. As I forestated, you can visit my YouTube channel, Lady Vern, LADYVERNE. All the previous sessions that we have recorded is there for you to review. And also successbeyondstrategies.com. If you'd like to send me your information, we can set up a consultation and see how we can get you started on your way. So thank you so much for joining me. Have a wonderful, wonderful, terrific Thursday. Oh, and for those that celebrate Cinco de Mayo, happy Cinco de Mayo Day. And even if you're not of the Mexican descent, celebrate with them and just rejoice because freedom is costly. And we all know that here in America, freedom comes with a price. So let's celebrate everybody's freedom, whatever their nationality, their ethnicity. Let's just rejoice with one another and have fun with each other and celebrate each other. Thank you. Have a great day. Bye bye for now.